Hello, I'm Richard Ridge for Broadway World. La Femme Theatre Productions presents Tennessee Williams' landmark play, The Night of the Iguana, and we're here at the legendary Sardi's on opening night to celebrate with the company.
It has been one of the greatest privileges of my life, of my 50 years as a professional director in the American theater, to swim in these waters of Tennessee. It is, I think, maybe his masterpiece. It's certainly neglected masterpiece, but I think it might be his greatest play. It's working on at least 6, 7 levels at once. Yeah. Each one of these characters is extraordinarily well drawn, and each one, if I may say so myself, is perfectly cast with this extraordinary group of actors. We have Tim Daly as Shannon, we have Daphne Rubin Vega as Maxine, we have Leah Delaria as Miss Fellows, we have Austin Pendleton, as Nano, and we have Jean Lichty as Hannah, and everyone, from the tiniest roles of the Mexican guys where they don't have a word of English to Jane, Tim, Daphne, and Leah. Every one of them is nailing it with three-dimensional characters, humor, pathos. You're crying and laughing all in the same sentence sometimes.
What I love about Tennessee Williams is that he writes complicated human beings in all their paradoxes and their hypocrisy and stuff. And, when you think about humanity, people say all the time, like, oh, where's your humanity? Well, humanity is not just beauty and glory and joy. It's also dark and horrible and tortured. And Tennessee Williams writes all of it. And Shannon certainly embodies that whole range of the human experience.
What's made this so special? You've done so many incredible shows and everything else. What's made this so special for you with working on Iguana?
Well, this is the most challenging role I've ever played, in one of the most challenging plays I've ever done. And, I've spent a lot of time and a lot of my career on television, and basically I am asked a lot of times to, look good and behave myself. And so having an opportunity to dig into a character who is messy and human and has all these different colors has been really meaningful to me. So I'm glad to have sort of reawakened my artistic self, and I'm just thrilled to be able to do it.
It's been fantastic. And, I've worked with Emily before, and so it's always a ride with Emily. And it's my second Tennessee Williams with her, and I'm not going to lie, there's a lot of trickiness to it, and choices that I sort of made on purpose. But it's amazing to work with her, because I don't know if I work with anybody else who gives me the sort of floor like that.
Talk about sharing the stage with this incredible group of actors you're working with.
I'm a bit speechless. So much talent, and they're all such lovely people, lovely, generous people. But working with Daphne and Leah and Tim, and then of course with the young actors too. But it's just been it's almost surreal, almost surreal. And working with Emily holds you up to a very high standard. And we really didn't have a day off, in my mind, for weeks. And here we are. I think the work paid off.
I actually feel really great because, let's just have a conversation about doing Tennessee Williams in a 3-hour-long play. It is draining. It really fucks you up. And rehearsing for as long as we've rehearsed, and then doing previews, we're rehearsing during the day, changing little things, tweaking things there. It is just exhausting. It's mentally exhausting, and I know nobody thinks of me as that kind of actor, but I got to tell you, honey, I was waking up in the middle of the night and going, okay, my line here, my line there, like that, because I'm not usually that kind of an actor, but this is real text. This stuff is hard, right? So, yeah, I'm feeling actually pretty proud of it, because I think it's a side of my acting that people haven't seen before. Is that weird to say on camera? But I think it's showing a different color that, and when you look at now the different things that I've done, and this is a comedic role, definitely, but there's some very serious moments, and I could feel a pin drop in a couple of places tonight that made me really happy as an actor.
It's this play. I've always loved this play. I saw the first production of it. Yeah, with Betty Davis and Margaret Leighton.
Yeah.
And it knocked me. And it just opened.
Yeah.
And it was a small house because the reviews in Chicago had been catastrophic.
Yeah.
And then it came here and got great reviews. And so I went and I saw it 2 weeks into the run, and it took my breath away.
Oh my gosh. Well, I love Tennessee Williams, and I was a part of the Zoom reading. So to be a part of this and to see it come to life on stage with the incredible talent involved has just been an incredible gift. And I'm Mexican, so to have this be a story that takes place in Mexico and to have Emily really dive into the culture and not just be sort of a window paint and have Mexican characters, I think has made the play really come to life. And it's been a privilege for me to be that. And it's been great playing Hank, too, and making him as interesting as possible.
Finally, when you took your bow tonight, what were you thinking?
When I took my bow, more than thinking, I was feeling. I was feeling full, rich, happy, joyful. We made the offering. Everyone was screaming and shouting. I was, what is it, seventh heaven?